All right. There we go. Green tea. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope you had a good weekend. I'm like weirdly tired. I don't know why. I just got up from an hour and a half nap. It's been we've been running around quite a bit the last several days. Heather and I have, so it has been keeping us busy. I guess is the right word. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you all had a great Father's Day. All the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Hey, Viking Prepper. Hello from Norway, he says. Well, glad to have you here. And so we're going to talk about today, we're going to be talking about why nothing ever gets done. And we're going to talk about the reasons for that and all those things. So I think it will be quite interesting. And hopefully you get some feedback. I definitely like the feedback and we'll go from there. But before we jump into this, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to be decent in the chat, no racism, no nastiness. Please be kind to each other. And if you cannot abide by those very easy, simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we're not going to have it. All right. But I'm going to slide up here a little bit more. Pull this way. I'm trying to get my bearings still. I'm just really not awake yet for whatever reason. I woke up and I woke up with more than enough time, but it's just very bizarre. All right, so we're going to talk about this freaking part of the problem. Okay, so first of all, the first part of the problem is we have a two-party system. So they give you a semblance of choice, but really, what choice do you have? I think there needs to be a third party for more options for people to utilize. With a two-party system, the problem is, uh, yeah, welcome to the Twilight Zone, exactly. With a two-party system, it's a big game, and what I have a real problem with, and I think a lot of people just really don't get it, and I know I've talked about this before, and and people, oh well, once we get the Democrats out of there, it'll be better. Well, once we get the Republicans out of there, it'll be better, and it never is. It never is. Now, don't get me wrong, with what has been going on the last 2 years, uh, I think it's insanity when you have governing bodies that are doing the catch and release programs with the criminals and just basically putting them right back out in the streets, and they're a good example of something that I think is absolutely insane. San Francisco, California, it's perfectly okay now for you to defecate in the street. When did this become okay? When did this type of behavior in doing these type of things become okay? It doesn't make any kind of sense to me. Another problem that we have with our system is special interest groups. Special interest groups are a huge, huge problem because they literally spend billions of dollars lobbying to whatever they're trying to get enacted with congressmen and senators and all that type of stuff. Uh, you know, they are, they're just they're dumping all kinds of money, and then when they get that influence, and then they donating to their campaign, and then if they have something that they want done, what happens is if you don't do it, they'll abandon you and they'll go on to your opponent and support your opponent because maybe your opponent will be the one that gets those bills pushed through and those type of things. I mean, it's one of the biggest manipulations that's out there that a lot of people just don't get. Uh, you know, why does nothing ever get done? Here's a great example, and I want you to think about this because this happened a few years ago as well. The first 2 years of Trump's presidency, the Republicans had the White House, they had the Senate, and they had the House, right? Everybody remember that? And not a lot got done then either. The last 2 years, the Democrats have had the presidency, they've had the House, and they've had the Senate. Again, nothing seems to be getting done because they don't want things to get done. The reality is when you have, okay, infrastructure bill, good example. We want to do an infrastructure bill to work on the infrastructure of our country because it's a freaking mess, which that's the truth. Our infrastructure is atrocious, and they should be focusing on that and putting money into that instead of spending billions overseas for other countries. Don't even get me started in that. But what happens? They propose a bill, and it's not just an infrastructure bill. You have all these pork projects that are brought into that bill. So I'm in Wyoming. Let's say I'm the senator from Wyoming, and I have this little pet project that I want to get done. And if you want my vote to go with your program, then you're going to have to put this bill, this addition onto the bill. So it's a pork project. So it helps my constituents, makes me look good, helps me to be more reelectable because I said, hey, look what I've done for us. I got this thing passed through and stuff like that. What they need to do realistically, if there is a spending bill for infrastructure, that's what it should be for. That's it. No special interest, no pork projects, no things that, I want, $100 million to go to the museum of whatever to help them. None of that stuff. Strictly infrastructure. Put the money into that. Yeah, single issue bills. Exactly. Exactly. Great point. And that's what they should be doing. But they'll never do that. They will absolutely never do that. Besides the fact that even though they seem to be opposed to each other, you think that they're opposed to each other, this two-party system, behind the scenes they're working together. They have been forever. Forever they've been working together. And so, it's okay, a great analogy would be, how many of you out here have watched wrestling, right? How many out there, professional wrestling? How many of you have watched professional wrestling? So, yes or no in the comments, because I have a point to make with this, and it makes it very understandable of what the politicians are doing. So, all right, in the comments, guys, how many of you have watched professional wrestling? Because I've seen it in person too. I'll be honest with you. It's been a long time, but I've seen it in person too. All right, what they would do is they all travel, they all train, and stuff like that. But when they're staying in the hotels, what they would do is they would have the bad guys stay in this hotel, and the good guys stay in this hotel. And the reason for that is because they don't want the fans to realize that they're working together. All right. Matches are scripted. We all know that they're scripted. Okay. But these guys still can get hurt. I mean, they are really, truly highly trained athletes and they're in fantastic shape, but injuries still happen, right? You ever seen a wrestling match and then all of a sudden you'll see the referee or the other wrestling opponent do the X symbol like this? He does this. It means the other guy's gotten hurt, and they will end the match like that. Somebody gets hurt, that's what they'll do. So those things, they're working together. It's entertainment like anything else, but they want people to believe that they're not working together. If these big monsters guys were actually punching each other, the way that if you look at old time wrestlers, and I'm talking guys like Jimmy Superfly Snuka, somebody had mentioned him earlier. Look at his forehead, right? Forehead is a massive scars, because what they would do is they would take a razor blade and they would nick themselves with the razor blade because you bleed a lot off your forehead. So the blood, people would get like incensed and crazy about that. It's a show, it's a game, it's a ruse, okay, but it's entertainment. That's what politicians are doing. It's a ruse. They're working together because what you have to understand at the end of the day, these politicians are not the ones running the country. In reality, I mean, let's be realistic. Who runs the country? Big business runs this country because they have the political clout. They have all these politicians in their pocket. They have the money to spend to do all these different things. Okay. And so that's where it's at. And so they are, you know, you have banks, pharmaceutical companies, you have the oil companies, you have the power companies. Those ones are the ones that run the, they're making the shots and they're making the calls. Why do you think it is so difficult to do different things? Because all this legislation is put in, because all this legislation that's put in is for big business. If you guys remember, Bush 2, when he was in office, he signed a thing to make it harder for you to go bankrupt, the average citizen. Asa says Congress equals pro Muppet Show, 10 eggs and yes, thanks. That's funny. I like that. I like that. And we will get to the egg count later, but thank you very much for the donation, Asa. I do appreciate that. So you think these guys are working against each other, okay? Republicans and Democrats, you think they're working against each other, but they're really not, because they all have the same handlers. You know, they should be like NASCAR, to be honest with you. They should have the patches on of who owns them. This oil company owns me because they donate XYZ money to my, my election fund and all that. It's just, it's insane. It is absolutely insane. So when I hear people, oh, these guys are bad and these guys are good, it's the same thing every 4 years, and it doesn't change. And that's why I became. I mean, even as a teenager, I watched the way that this system was done and designed, and I just saw the manipulation is just beyond. It's amazing to me. I want you to think about something, okay? And this is for all, and again, personally, I liked Trump. I'm going to tell you, some of you may not agree with that. Some of you may agree with it. That's all well and good. It doesn't matter. But let's look at things realistically. Let's look at it realistically. Trump is a billionaire, has been, inherited money from his dad. His dad got him started, and he's done very well for himself, and good for him for doing so. But Trump is part of the elite, folks. So if you think that Trump was just looking out for the average American citizen, that's delusional. It's delusional because he's looking out for his interest, for his family, setting up businesses that are going to benefit him, setting up policies that are going to benefit what they're doing, which is fine because they all do it. They all do it. You know, um, it is amazing to me that people just feed into the hysteria one way or the other. I mean, Trump was a very galvanizing figure. What I personally liked about Trump myself is he just said it like it is, and he didn't care. He didn't care if he hurt your feelings, and I thought that was funny because I'm watching these people flip out over his tweets. Listen, and I'm going to be very honest again, very honest again. Is Trump an egomaniac? Absolutely, he is. Anybody that wants to be in that position of power, uh, they're egomaniacs. They all are. They all want that power. They crave that power because it gives them more options to do what they want to do to better themselves, to line their pockets. You look at Pelosi, okay? I think her and her husband are worth like $86 million. And there's a reason for that. She's been in politics for a very, very long time. If anybody can remember, and I remember Congresswoman Louise Slaughter. I mean, they rolled her out there and she was in her late 80s, and she got reelected. Bam, no issues. Good thing. Yes, Louise Slaughter, blah, blah, blah. She had 2, 3 marbles rolling around in her head. Do you guys remember? I think it was oh my God, Storm Thurmond, I think may have been. He was a congressman he's either a congressman or a senator. I don't remember what he was. Okay, but he was from I think North Carolina, and I may be wrong on this. So please, if I'm wrong, just correct me. But I know what I'm seeing this guy in my head. He was 90 something years old. They would wheel him in the wheelchair. Um, South Carolina. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. Asif's got it. They would wheel him in his wheelchair for votes, and they kept reelecting this guy. It amazes me how gullible, realistically, people are in general. It amazes me. And it happens constantly. And they just go, okay, so let's look at it like this. You're an individual, you're poor. You live in, let's go with Baltimore. Let's go with Baltimore. Okay. You live in a very poor city of Baltimore. And so these politicians are giving you the lip service that you want to hear. They're telling you things are going to get better. If you elect me, I'm going to do this for you guys, and I'm going to do that for you guys, and this for you guys. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes. But what happens 4 years down the road? Well, you know what? I like him. I'll vote for him again, even though he did nothing, nothing to help out the poor, or they did very little, very small things that really didn't make a difference because it doesn't. Again, I've talked about this before, guys. What is wrong? No handout. I don't believe in handouts. I believe in a hand up. That's what I believe in. And I think as if I was a politician, that's what I would base what I was doing on. Lifting people up, giving them an opportunity to better themselves. And here's the thing, here's the best part. If you're lazy and you want to sit around on your couch and do nothing, you can continue to sit around on your couch and do nothing. But you should not be supported by the government if you're going to do that. If you genuinely want to better your lives, if you genuinely want to better your lives and put in the effort and get ahead, then I think that that's a great thing. And I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of people that have done that. And what are they called? Let's talk about what they're called. If you are that individual that says, hey, you know what? I can get an education, I can better myself, I can go ahead and make my life better. So they put in the effort and they put up, they do the work and they do better. So what are they called by the people in their own communities? They're called a sellout. They're called a sellout. Oh, you sold out. You're trying to act like you're white. You're an Uncle Tom. Why? Because you wanted to better yourself? It blows me away. It blows me away. Why are drug dealers? Because they're in the fancy car and they got the money and they're flashing cash and you know they're respected, right? But somebody, um, an example would be, hold on, I'm trying to remember, Dr. Ben Carson. Okay, great example of an individual that came from a very poor background, that worked hard, bettered himself, he's a very intelligent man, and those type of things. And how is he treated? He's treated like he's a sellout. Oh, he sold out. He did this. He did that. He should be somebody who is you want to emulate yourself after. He's the guy that people should be looking up to. You know what? But they don't. And again, ignorance, exactly. Yep. And it's ignorance, because they would rather blame everybody else for their circumstances in life. And that's anybody on here, guys. I don't care where, if you're poor Appalachia or if you're, poor city folks or, wherever you're from, whatever your background is, people would rather blame somebody else than doing something by being proactive to better their lives. It drives me insane. It absolutely drives me insane because when I say at the end of my videos all the time when I talk about STD, and I say, only person in life that's going to hold you back is you. Okay? That's it. You're the only person that can hold you back. So blaming everybody else for your downfall and being downtrodden and all these type of things, that's it. There's nobody else to blame but you. So I find it amazing that that continues to happen. But let's get back to we're getting back to the politicians. These folks, they get into office, and even if they have good intentions, what ends up happening is you get into Washington, and now you're swimming with the sharks. You're not swimming with the guppies anymore. It is a whole different scenario, a whole different situation. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. or Martin Luther King was another one. Somebody that tried to do something positive, tried to do something good, and what ended up happening to him? They killed him. Gandhi. would be another one. Same thing. Because if you are a positive role model and you're actually trying to make changes to make things better, not only for everybody, they can't have that. They don't want that, you know? They don't want that. So it's just it blows me away. It really, really, yeah. John Lennon would be another one. I mean, well, he was more of a peace loving tree hugger type of guy. But he was somebody that had a lot of influence, and it scares the people. You got to understand something. Anything that is different, anything that is not what people consider normal, it scares people. You know, living off grid, living a certain kind of lifestyle, trying to be independent, trying to teach your kids a different way. You're labeled as crazy. You're labeled as something has got to be wrong with you. You're not mentally stable. You're the problem because anything that's not fits into this little comfortable box, right? Then there's something wrong. And I'll give you another example of that. That little box, fitting into that little box. As all of you know, my son has autism. Anybody that's been watching this channel um, knows that Eddie, we've been dealing with autism, ever since he was 2.5 years old. You know, so he was diagnosed at 2.5 with autism. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of that or what my thoughts of how he obtained autism. But if you've watched any of my videos in the past, there's a pretty good indication that you know why I feel that that is the case. So, anyway, when Eddie was going to school and we were dealing with the school districts, okay, they wanted him to fit in this box. Here's the autistic kids. This is how the autistic kids are. This is how they have to behave. But because Eddie didn't fit into that box, because realistically, every single autistic child out there on the spectrum is different. There is no cookie cutter stamp. Okay, an example. If you have a child that has Down syndrome, okay, Down syndrome kids, they look the same, right? They have the same look. A lot of them are very docile. They're nice kids. They're very sweet kids and stuff like that. Okay. Those are your Down syndrome kids. So they fit in this nice little cookie cutter box. And so you know how they're going to act. You know how they're going to behave. You know how to deal with them. Autistic kids, or here's the spectrum line, this huge line, right? There is no cookie cutter thing. Now there are similarities. They don't like to make eye contact. They're not good socially. A lot of noises and stuff like that that bothers them. Those are some of the familiarities with autism. Okay, which is great. And you kind of get an idea when you see these kids and you kind of know. But you can have your Asperger's kids that are off the charts brilliant, but again, not good socially. Don't want to make eye contact, would rather be by themselves with whatever they're, into, that's their thing. All right. Two, your autistic kid that wears a helmet, that bangs their head against the wall all day long and is nonverbal. So, and has to be changed, their diaper has to be changed and those type of things. So that's the spectrum. So you have this peak brilliant mind individual that has autism to this other autistic kid that will never be verbal, that will never be able to do anything for themselves, and they're a lot of work. Okay. Uh, a lot of autistic kids have a tendency to lash out because of frustration. They don't know how to vocalize or tell how they feel, and when they're upset, they lash out. That's what they do. Believe me, I know. I've dealt with it. The entirety of my son's life. Eddie's very high functioning. Very very fortunate in that aspect. But he had his issues, and the school system was zero help. I'm going to tell you right now, zero help. We have more and more autistic kids all of the time, and Asa says, yeah, Elon Musk is high functioning autism. Yep, exactly. Yep. So, But again, this spectrum of the way that things are, it's you can't fit these people into this box. But now politicians, you waste some money in front of their face, it changes everything. And in corruption and greed, you know, um, it is it's out there. It's rampant. We see it all the time. You look at all the time the number of politicians that are getting popped for being corrupt. Or I'm trying to remember who's the one. I mean, New York politics, guys. I tell you what, it's been an interesting thing to watch this through the years up here. It's just been, it's a show. It is absolutely a show. We had. Who was the one up here? I think, oh God, I'm trying to remember. He was like, supposedly this good old politician, good, awesome person. And, he was posting his pictures shirtless on the internet and trying to pick up women. And he was married, obviously, and all this type of stuff. So he ended up resigning in disgrace. So, Luke Thompson said, I have functioning autism, person, 56 years of age. I self medicate with a coffee and pie. Well, you know what? And if that works for you, that's awesome. I absolutely have no judgment, with that at all. Sharon Barrett said, Ed, what will kids learn when SHTF happens? Well, that you're going to see, you're going to see when SHTF happens. The one good thing about kids is kids are resilient. They will bounce back. Elliot Spitzer, yes. No, Anthony Weiner. That was the one. Okie Forge got it right. Yep, Anthony Weiner. Yeah, he was the one doing the pictures. So, but yes, Randy Romine says children with autism a lot of times have a higher intellect. They do. I always said, guys, I'll tell you what, when it was me, Eddie, and Heather in this house, I said Eddie was the smartest one in the house. He always was, always will be. Heather's no slouch, as you guys know, and I'm not an idiot. I just can't spell real well. Never did because I didn't care about it. But spelling doesn't make you smarter or not smart. So for all you spelling Nazis out there, that's for you. But it was something that I just didn't care about. I never cared about that. Of course, now then I became a nurse and I had to spell, and then doing YouTube, and I get corrected every freaking time if I don't use the right there, which I don't even care. So, um, guys, hold on one second. Huh? She's gotta get the dogs in there out there barking. Hold on one second, guys. Let me just text her real quick. Okay, sorry. Just had to give Heather a quick text to ask her to bring the dogs in. But it's just like I said, there's manipulation constantly. Politicians are looking out for their own best interest. They will never look out for us. If you think that they will, if you think the next change of the next politician gives a crap about you, they don't. They don't. So it is. It amazes me. It really amazes me that people think that, well, the next guy that gets in, he's going to do better. Now, I will say this. I do believe that Trump was trying to help people. I really do. That's my own interpretation of it. If you agree with that, you don't agree with it, whatever the case may be, it doesn't really matter. People are, you have the right to believe whatever you want to believe. But anybody that tries to tell me that the administration that we have right now, that we're dealing with right now, it is a joke. It's a fiasco. Uh, if you think Biden's running this country, I don't know what to tell you. I have my own opinion on that, but just like I said, go watch the video, guys. Go watch the video. It's all I got. This is for all of you that think that Biden is wonderful and great. Go watch the Easter video of how the person in the Easter bunny suit had to redirect him because he started rambling to people. and stuff like that. And that's one example. One example. How many times has he been? Yep, there was Hella. Yeah. How many times has there been, situations with this gentleman that we have as our president that you can just tell there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's frightening. Here comes Miss Heather. Well, thank you for bringing the dogs in. We were hanging out with.
Yeah, our shoes on.
Oh, okay.
So I got my baby.
Miss Stella, you can probably not see her.
See
Well,
her
you see her eyes.
eyeballs a little bit.
See her eyes. She's a snotty cat.
She's an angel.
So Heather, what have you been doing?
I actually brought it.
Ah.
I've been working on crochet, but anybody know what this is? Put it on my face. Don't hold it.
I will hold that. It is a loofah. Heather actually crocheted a loofah, which I think is kind of neat. And then what else have you been working on? Matching?
Oh yeah, I have matching hats and a couple hats up in general on my Etsy. But like hats for like a child and the parent. Little set because he doesn't want to do a little matchy deal.
So she will be putting these on her Etsy account as well, just in case anybody is interested in a crocheted loofah.
Yeah, because they're 100% cotton, so you can wet it down and it'll go stay fine. It'll keep its shape, and they're machine washable. That if you want to wash them after washing yourself, just pop them in there and they'll be fine. So when they rub up and get all soapy, just like a normal loofah, but they're reusable and you don't have to harm the environment by using microplastics and stuff.
Oh, there's a question for you, Heather. Does Stella ever go outside like the other kitties?
I give her some monitored time outside in the greenhouse because she wants to go outside really bad, but she hasn't had the snip yet, so we can't kind of let her go out doing her own thing yet. Because we don't need little baby Stellas.
No, we have enough cats here, and we have continuous cats adopting us.
Yes.
So we have to be careful. But so then you're making matching hats for mother son, mother daughter, all those type of things. Yes.
Yep. I have right now a couple hats up for men that are in like a brown and green color. It's a two-tone type hat, and cat hats are always up for sale. And if you have any ideas that you have towards me that you think that you could possibly do, just feel free to message me. I can work with you, and I can make mostly anything.
And JJ has Heather's Etsy account link up there. He just posted that. How is Mr. Scruffy Cat? His neck is healing very, very well.
And Scraggly's doing really good.
Yeah. He's hanging out more and more and more. So it will be a matter of time before he's in the house as well. When I got the Sorrelto collars, we got one for him as well.
I don't have these up on my Etsy yet, but by the end of tonight, I'm going to have them up. I got to see what different colors I can make them in first before making my listing. They will be up by tonight.
And you're still doing jewelry?
Yep, I'm still doing jewelry. I have a couple things up right now. I have things I need to upload. So it's not just crochet, I promise. I'm still doing the jewelry stuff.
Yeah, so.
Yes, I was thinking about making the cotton face rounds for like makeup and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Make like a set of those. I want to do a set with like a loofah and then like a face kind of towel as well. Kind of like a little bathroom set. I think that would be fun. It's all washable and reusable.
Yeah.
I'm all for helping the environment.
Yeah, Mr. Scruffy is intact, so yeah, Stella needs to stay in the house. Exactly. Yes, because he still has all his parts as well.
Matching dog and people hats. Maybe. I'll have to see that. I'm still working on a pattern to try and fit dogs' heads because obviously there's a lot of different sized dogs out there.
Hey, Candace Cullen. Happy Father's Day, Ed. So glad to hear you spend time with both kids this weekend. Go buy a fruit tree on me. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that donation. And I definitely need fruit trees for down in West Virginia. So thank you. I will definitely do that. So thank you very much for that donation. It's very kind of you. But
yeah, this morning I go into him and I'm like, Happy Father's Day to me, the one who made you a father.
That's
and
right.
I was like, no, I'm just kidding. Happy Father's Day.
I saw the best coffee mug today. And it said Happy Father's Day. And this family has four children, 3 boys and a girl. And on the coffee mug, it has 4 little sperms with all the kids' names in the sperm. So yeah, I thought that was very, very funny. So I laughed very hard at that one there. But it's a Happy Father's Day and it has all the kids' sperm because they were the fastest swimmers. Well, Eddie and Heather tied. It was a tie.
Yeah. But I was born first, so I win that one.
Yeah, so Heather's the oldest. Always will be the oldest.
Well, I gotta head back and go finish the 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, it is intellectual television.
Oh yes.
All right. I love
I
you.
love you too, and thank you everyone for your kind words about my stuff. I appreciate it. So thanks for your support.
All right. Have fun.
I will.
All right. We had a small crowd here for a Sunday. I'm very well because the topic. I guess people didn't like the topic. Not doing gloom and doom. The end of the world is coming. We're about to all be evaporated. Then people would watch. Uh, I used to watch that show. Enjoy for me, Heather. Yeah, I can't do that. I just they have fun. They watch their stuff together, and that's good for them. But that definitely not for me. But anyway, let's go back to the politicians, guys. Let's talk about our beloved politicians some more. You know, the job was not meant to be a lifelong job. That's what it's turned into for a lot of these politicians. They get in and they get elected over and over and over and over again. And a part of the problem with that is once you are an elected official, you get a certain amount of money to your reelection campaign that's funded by us, the taxpayers, right? So anybody going up against them do not have the money backing financially
Yeah,
to
they're
put
always going to back the incumbents more
right.
rather than the people that are trying to go up against them.
Right. So they're going to back, like just how they just said, they're going to back the incumbents more rather than the people that are trying to get in there to make the change and defeat them. They don't have the money to be able to put up with, or put up uh, the campaign ads and all those type of things. And we have hit a world record. That is still on topic. Well, I think it's an important topic. I really do. And I think people need to realize, um, can we get an updated tour of Becky's place? Yeah, I could probably do that. It hasn't changed a lot, but so it's people are interesting, that's for sure. Why did you take the New York property off the market? Okay, good question. Several answers to that question. If you guys remember, the interest rate went up by a half percentage point in May. It just went up by 3/4 of a percentage point in June. So it's up a 1.25% for the interest rate in the last 2 months alone. They're talking about raising it again in July. If somebody was interested in my property in New York, it's not a stereotypical property. Nobody could get a bank loan uh, to get my property because it's not on a permanent foundation. Everything is up on blocks. So that eliminates people going and getting a mortgage to get my property, right? And so that was part of that. That really narrowed it down to who could purchase my property. So that was part of the issue. The other part of the issue was, you know, I wanted to get rid of this property, take all the money, put it right into West Virginia, and get going down there. It's not going to happen that way. So I made the decision. I pulled it off the market. It puts me in a better situation where I'm not as rushed that I have to worry about getting everything out of here in New York and getting it down to West Virginia and getting more infrastructure set up in West Virginia and buildings to store stuff in West Virginia. So it makes it better for me. It takes a lot of pressure and stress off me. The other thing is I never had to sell this property in New York. Never had to. I wanted to, but I never had to. Talking with Becky and my daughter, they basically said, "We'll do whatever the way things work out. We'll deal with it that way." So if that meant that this sold, they would have moved down to West Virginia. They would rather stay here. My sister has her boyfriend is here. This has been Heather's home for 8 years. So, this is familiar and it's comfortable and all those type of things. And so, I will continue to work on my property in West Virginia. I will spend a lot more of my time in West Virginia. If SHTF happened tomorrow, would you hunker down New York or West Virginia? it would depend on what the event was, Asif, to be honest with you. And a lot of it would be depending on where I'm at the time. And that's something that I have to think about too. You know, New York is set up and it's ready to go and all those type of things. I have wood coming in here this week, so I'm probably going to stick around for a little bit longer to help get that stacked up, because now that we're keeping the property, we need to prepare for winter. So I have wood coming. That's an important part of what we have to do here. So those are things. Yeah, if she stays, Heather needs to learn to drive. Yes, she does. We have talked about that. So, you know, there's a lot of things that have to happen. But again, it's just like I said, it takes a lot of stress off of me, not having to worry about, oh my God, I got to move everything and get everything down there. I will continue to take things down to West Virginia, and those type of things. So that's not a concern. But and like yes, and I can work slowly on West Virginia now without pressure. There's no pressure now. I'm not like in a time crunch. What happened to all your wood? I thought you had years stocked up. Generally had, Patty asked, 2 years worth of wood in the woodshed. The woodshed will hold about 20 face cord. Last winter, we went through a lot more wood than we normally do. A lot more wood. It was really, really cold up here last winter. We had a lot of sub-zero temperatures, and so that made a difference. We didn't have the huge snow total amounts, but we did have, you know, we did have that. Yeah, now I have a nice RV to stay in down in West Virginia. So it work. Yeah, it works out. And like I said, I can work on the different things that I want to work on. Down there. It gives me options. So and I'll be honest with you, I do love the New York property. I just don't like New York State. I don't like New York winters. I don't like New York politics. I don't like New York gun laws. So you know, like I said, it just gives me more options. And if things are bad, let's put it like this. Let's say that there is something that happens in near here in New York State. Well, they can pack up what they can pack up and they can come to West Virginia and they would be safe, and vice versa. If something happened where the West Virginia property was compromised in any way, shape, or form, we could be able to come back up to New York. So it works out either way. Now, in an SHTF situation, where would I rather be? I would rather be in West Virginia. To be 100% honest with you, um, you know, it's going to be it's a better location for a worst case scenario. Uh, that's just my opinion. But again, there's a lot of work that has to be done, and that's where we're at. So we'll just we'll do what we have to do, and we'll take care of what we have to take care of. I think Heather would do an awesome job at decorating your New York place. Give her a chance. Well, but like I said, I prefer West Virginia. That's just me. But yeah, two is one and one is none. Exactly. So that's kind of where we're at, and so I'm not worried about it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do down there yet, to be honest with you. I'm thinking that I might end up building a small, like house, if you will, something small, just that I could winter in down there, and that later on I could either use as guest quarters or I can use it as a storage building or whatever. Anything that I do build down there is not going to go to waste. So I'll build, like a small cabin, and maybe it'll be like a 12 by 16, something that me and Hella can winter in, that we can have a nice wood stove in there and do what we need to do. So, we are having a very hot summer, so we'll have a brutal winter. One extreme follows another. Yeah, you never know, Yeah, and there's no shortage of firewood in West Virginia. Billy the Kid Norwood said 12 by 16 would be perfect. Yeah, and the thing is, I could always use it as a guest cabin later on. So, but like I said, I love it down there. It's very isolated. It's beautiful, and but in the winters down there, guys, again, they're not going to be as bad as New York. You're a lot farther south. Yes, it's higher elevation than where I am here in New York, but it's going to be it'll work out. It'll work out. So, but like I said, time will tell. Oh well, here we are, guys. It is actually egg count time. So yeah, and you can always add on to the cabin as well. Pet Preps Radio just said that. Exactly. So anyway, let's do the egg count. So if yes or no to thick neck lay, and what is the number of eggs today? And I will let you know. No, I'm right on time. It's 45. We've been on here 45 minutes, and that's when I try to do it. So I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses, and we will go from there. All right, guys. If you had the same guess as Billy the Kid Norwood, he was the first one that I saw that had it right with 9 eggs today. And yes, thick neck laid today. So there we are, which is not bad. We'll take that every day of the week. Um, what was I going to say? So I took eggs over to my neighbors next door. Took eggs up to Chris and Greg, gave them eggs. So I'll take eggs back with me when I go back down to West Virginia as well. So, but like I said, I'm in no rush anymore. And, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm on a time crunch and the house is going to sell up here and then we got to move everything and all those type of things. So, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And like I said, I didn't have to sell this property. Didn't have to. So, again, I will, it took me, so I want you guys to think about this. We have been at the New York property for 8 years. Okay. And we have worked on this, worked on that, tweaked this, tweaked that. It has been a work in progress, and it's taken time. It always takes time. Nothing happens overnight. With what I've gotten done already in West Virginia, I actually feel really happy about everything that we've gotten done down there already. I think it's coming along great. There is a lot of work to do down there, but that's okay, you know. Um, Betty says you have enough eggs to try the water glass method to preserve them. Yes, I could. I could do that, okay? But to me, I would rather help out my neighbors if I can. So it's giving back to people that I like. And so that's what I do. You know what I mean? And it's like, so never, oh, you should do this or you should do that. I do whatever I want to do, but it's like, I like helping other people out. And as expensive, yes, my eggs are fertilized. Yes, they are because I have a rooster. As expensive as eggs are, if that takes a little burden off of them, great. That's awesome. So, eggs are not cheap anymore. Could I sell them? Yes, I could, but I don't want to. I don't need to. So I'm not going to. So, you know, again, it's another way for me to give back, to help other people out. And I like doing that. So, yep, time flies when you look back at the projects completed. You got to figure we got the solar system set up down there for West Virginia. We got the battery room is built. Eric's Big Blue House is now there in place, and we are utilizing that, which has been awesome. I will be getting the shipping container back into the property, and I will utilize that as well. So, there is a million and one things that have to be done. You look at all the gravel that we've already put into the property. There's a lot of gravel's gone into that property already. So, again, that's something else that takes time. Everything just takes time. And but I got to tell you this. I will. So I had gone up and I had told Greg and Chris that where I took the place off the market and then I'm not selling. And Chris gave me a big hug, and she says, "I'm glad you're not moving." She goes, "I love you guys." So that makes me feel good. And they're good people. Greg and Chris are awesome people, and Dennis is a nice person as well. Obviously, he's up there with them as well. So I think that they're good people, and I like them. I like my neighbors that I have next door to me as well. Obviously, you guys remember, My other neighbor Richard with his tractor, he's been huge help for us through the years. So, but again, all these things, the people where I'm at here in New York are awesome. I cannot complain about the people that are around me at all. They have been fantastic. The people that I have met in West Virginia that are my neighbors down there, I've had no issues with them either. And I think that they're awesome. So, it's just, I'll go back and forth. I'll do what I can do. I'll come back to New York and I'll take care of what I can take care of here. And that's what we'll do. So, um, I've been lazy the last couple of days. I'm not gonna. Well, not really lazy because we've been running around and doing things, but I haven't done anything here. I got to get the grass cut here, so probably tomorrow I'll be cutting grass and doing that. And then this week I have, like I said, I ordered 10 face cord of wood, so I got 10 face, and 10 face cord is not going to be enough. I will tell you that right now as well. But I will get that 10 face cord in here. We'll get it stacked up, and then we'll kind of look and see how much more we need, and we'll go from there. Simple as that. You prepare for the winter. Now that we know we're staying, we will get things squared away that way. So it's just it's all part of it. It's just like I said, there's a lot to do. So probably for short term, I will not be having animals other than Hella with me in West Virginia when I'm down there, because I won't have anybody to watch them when I'm not there. So I won't do anything like that for now. Now, down the road, we'll have to figure things out. You know what I mean? Yeah, JJ said I was actually shocked that you had to crank up the wood stove the other morning. Yeah, the 18th of June, and I'm out there, which was yesterday, and I had to get the fire going because it was that chilly. I think our forecast, I will tell you, I think it's going down into the 40s tonight. So let me look at that real quick, and I will tell you what it's going to be doing. So give you a minute. We're looking, they're saying 46 degrees. It's going to go down to 46 degrees tonight. And that's in the town. That's not up here. So up here, it might be 40. So, it's what are you going to do? Weather's going to do what it's going to do. And, we just have to, we have to deal with it. So, but, uh, but yeah, I was shocked that we had to get a fire going. We may have to get a fire going tomorrow morning. If it's 40 degrees up here, it might be a little chilly in the morning. So, but, but anyway, so that's this global warming is terrible. That's all I know. You guys know how I feel about that too. Weather goes in cycles. Weather's gone in cycles for thousands and millions of years, and it will continue to do so. When you have, oh, well, this is drying up and there's no water and stuff like that. Well, maybe, 2,000, 5,000 years ago, it was different. Things change. That's what happens. Again, Sierra Desert is a great example. That used to be an oasis, guys. It used to be all green, and now it's a desert. At some point in the future, it may be an oasis again. We don't know. We won't be here to see it. But, what always kills me is you really if you look at, we've been paying attention to the weather for what, 500 years, something like that, realistically, trying to document, I should say, the weather, probably more so in the last couple hundred years. So how are we going to determine? Well, 10,000 years ago, it was like this. You look at the Nile River, okay? The Nile River has changed course several times throughout the centuries. It happens. You look at, I think it was, there was one city, and I can't remember the name of the city, and it's nowhere near the Nile River anymore. But they said that way back in the day, when that was an active city, the Nile was there, and it changed. Asa says lots of volcanoes going off in the last year will give another cold winter in New York. I have predicted a harsh winter last fall, uh, harsh southeast winter also. Yeah, and that makes a difference. Thank you very much, Asa, for that information, and thank you for the donation as well. But that does make a difference, guys. The more that you have these volcanoes going off and they're putting all that crap up into the upper atmosphere, it's going to affect the weather. Uh, Anybody that remembers Mount St. Helen, when Mount St. Helen went, over on the West Coast, where it is, right over there, it went off. They had snow, I believe, in July that year in Maine. It affects everything. These volcanoes affect everything. So they're putting a lot of stuff into the upper atmosphere. But remember, it's cow farts. That's the problem. Uh, When you have, and I'm just going to make a statement here. I'm not saying that anything is this or anything is that. You can make your own interpretation. Okay. If I am a scientist, climatologist guy, and my funding comes from the government, okay, and the government comes to me and says, this is how you're going to present this. Am I going to say to them, well, that's not factual. I can't present it that way. That's not the truth. Will I still have a job if I do that? Right? Okay. So take it for what it's worth. That's the only thing I'm saying. When you have somebody paying your bills and they tell you how you're going to do things, that's how you're going to do things. When you work for a company, if you have your boss comes up to you and says, I would like you to do this, and you go, yeah, I don't feel like I should be doing that. How long you think you're going to have a job? How long you think you're going to have a job? It doesn't work that way. You do what you're told. Uh, Scientists that are being paid by the government do the same thing. They do as they are told. So, when people come up, well, all these scientists say this and all these scientists say that. Well, what about the other scientists that are not bought and paid for by government agencies and those type of things that are saying something different, and their information is being suppressed, shot down, saying that they're spreading false information? Don't you find that interesting? I find it interesting. I think it's an interesting thing that we should all be paying attention to. But hey, who am I, right? I'm just some guy on YouTube. I believe, again, that we should question everything. That's all. You don't just take it for, if they're telling you that this is the truth, it's probably not. It's their version of the truth. So, again, those are things that, you know, people that think for themselves, and how dare you think for yourself, and how dare you use your mind. You're a conspiracy theorist, and it's terrible, and you're wrong. Even if a year later it comes out that you were 100% correct of what you said, is there ever an apology from Google? Do they ever take that strike back away from you because you were correct in what you said before? Do they ever reimburse you for lost monies? Of course they do not. Why would they do that? So people just, it really, it blows me away. It just blows me away. So, but anyway, I did mention that we got together with Eddie this weekend, which was awesome. By the way, it was amazing. It was really really nice to see him, and go out and have the three of us again, me, Heather, and Eddie, hanging out, and we had a nice time. And so, give you a little backstory on that. When Heather was in college, I would go down once a week. I would pick up Heather and I would pick up Eddie, and the three of us would go out. We'd get lunch and we'd spend a little time together, and it was always nice. Then the pandemic came, and then basically Eddie locked down for 2 years, if you will, of his own choosing. He was invited to every vacation that I went on. He was invited to go out multiple times, and he chose not to. He's a grown man. I cannot force him to do anything. So I just could continue to ask. So that's what I did. And so he kept saying no, 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 no. So when he called me, I was in West Virginia, and he called me on the 10th of June, the day after my birthday. And he wished me happy birthday. And I know that, like I said, again, I know that was his mother that did that. And I actually have thanked her for doing that, because that did mean a lot to me to hear from him. And I had said to him, when I come back to New York, would you like to get together and go out and grab some lunch? And he said, yes, I would like to do that. And then he said, can we go to the Guitar Center? He wanted a new foot pedal for his guitar. And so, yes, Eddie is still playing guitar. I think he's doing a good job. and he really enjoys it, and I think that that's great as well. And so I said, yeah, we can do that. So we went out and we got him a new foot pedal, and he was playing it, in the guitar center, and they had a guitar there that he could hook into it, and did all that, and that's his thing, and that's what he likes to do. So, and then he's got the hair for it now. If you guys all remember, for years and years and years, Eddie had a buzz cut. I gave him a buzz cut for years because he never did anything with his hair, never cared about it. We came to me at one point before he had left, and he said, "I want to grow my hair out." And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. You're older now, and you can do that." And so that's what he did. And now him and Heather probably have about the same length hair. So, yeah, he's got long hair, but but it was nice to spend time with him, and get together, and it was awesome. So, and I told him, I said, when I come back up again next month, I would like to do this again. Would you like that? And he said, yes, I would. And so we'll get together again, and that's okay. So, but uh, so anyway, so that's that. But all right, let me get my book here, and we will do some shout outs. Is this the right one? That one has nothing in it. Where is my? Hold on, guys. I got to find my right book. Where did I put it? There it is. It was buried. All right. So I have my list, as you guys know now. So I have to go off my list for shout outs. All right. Let's see. Give me a minute and let me find it. There we go. All right. Okay, so we're gonna start out with Icky Can up in Canada. So, guys, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I haven't even asked tonight. But if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate it, and thank you. We got Icky Can up in Canada, good friend of mine, good guy. I would ask you to go and support his channel. I think he's awesome. You have Angry Prepper, which obviously Jason in New York City, he's awesome as well. Alaskan Prepper with Rudy. I think he's awesome as well. We have Alaska Granny 2. Her first channel was closed down, so now she has a second channel. So definitely check that one out as well. You have Sean James up in Canada as well with the Sean James channel, and also My Self Reliance. Two very good channels, same guy. And a lot of good information with him. We have North Shore Preparedness up in Canada as well. Then we have Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. We have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. We have Bizariza Jizza. He is in Greece, New York, doing the Carrington Chronicles. Really, really good as well. I watched Alaska Granny, and I didn't see where it says Alaska Granny 2. Oh, well, somebody was telling me that she first channel got shut down, so she did a second channel. So either or, whatever one works, Alaska Granny and 1 or 2 don't matter, as long as you see that. Let's see. We have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. A lot of good information with them. Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You also have Wrangle Star with Cody. I like his channel too as well. Red Poppy Ranch, Survival Lily, Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota there. Really nice young couple. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods also in Minnesota, husband and wife. Awesome as well. Okay, so definitely check them out as well. 2 different channels, but again, husband and wife. You have Green Greg's. There's Southern Prepper 1, Gray Man Prepping, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. We have Doug and Stacy, a lot of good information with their channel as well. Let's see. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. They're a nice young couple down there. You have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. Monkey Rex, the Needy Homesteader, good channel there as well. Boss of the Swamp, Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. You have Petra, Appalachian Homestead. There's City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer, Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist, Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands in La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News. I really like her as well. Adapt 2030, Ice Age Farmer, Ryan Hall, y'all, with the weather. Love him as well. I think he's awesome. Never seen somebody so excited for the weather in my life, but he's very good at what he does. Um, Russell Brand, a lot of good information with Russell Brand. I really like his stuff as well. Deep South Homestead. Then you have The Outsider, The Fit Farmer, which is a newer channel, Prepper Princess, Simple Life Reclaimed, Town Seeds, The Prepared Mind, Pinball Preparedness. I think he's awesome as well. I like all his stuff there. East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Gritty is another newer channel, and they are in Tennessee. So that is it for the shout outs. I hope you guys go and check them out. There's a lot of good information out there. We can learn from each other, and I think that that's important as well to do so. I think it's really important. What I like about Russell Brand, guys, I'll tell you, you're looking at a former drug addict that turned himself around. And he's more on an enlightened path, I guess is the right wording now, but he questions everything. He doesn't identify as left or right at all. And I like that. And yeah, he will tell you that he's more left leaning, but he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and he just kind of tells it like it is. And I think that that's awesome. So I really like that about his channel, and I think that that's a very, very cool thing. And he's funny as well. I like Russell Brand. So, but it's like I said, there's a lot of great information out there, and we just got to be willing to listen, look at different perspectives. I'm always looking to see different perspectives and see what people's thoughts are. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, so I'm definitely happy to look at other people's viewpoints and what they're thinking and those type of things. So, but yeah, so that is that. But again, let's recap really quickly. Are politicians looking out for us in general? The answer, in my opinion, only is no. They are looking out for big business. They are looking out for the special interest groups that got them elected. And it doesn't matter which party that you are associated with, they're going to stick it up and break it off. That's what they do. And you will smile and say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, so something to think about. Something to think about. So, just I just like I said, we have to realize that we're being manipulated constantly. When you have a certain group of people control the media, and they can put out whatever they want to put out in that media, and you have people that I like your idea of NASCAR stickers all over them. Well, I think that would, we got to see who that they're bought and paid for by, who they represent. If you have, you know, the pharmaceutical company Pfizer is donating $400,000 to your campaign, you should have your Pfizer sticker on there so that we know that that's who you're working for. I don't see that is bad. NASCAR's guys do it all the time, right? They're showing us who's supporting them, who's paying the bills. But they won't do that, of course. So, but it would be interesting. I think that would be the way it should be. But yeah, we should know that before we vote. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. But again, there is always going to be that manipulation. How many times, guys? How many times have we heard a politician say, "If I'm elected, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this," and then they get in office and they don't do any of it. They don't do any of it. It's a constant thing. It's a constant thing. I think that when you have Ed, you missed Lakota Bike Weekend ended today. Well, I have actually. I will tell you this, guys. Um, I have a buddy of mine that is in Baltimore. Well, he's in Maryland, and so I'm going to be going down next month, end of next month. The Yankees are playing in Baltimore, and so I will actually be at two games next month. in Baltimore. I'm going to be staying at my buddy's place, and we're going to go and catch some baseball games. And we haven't seen each other. We've been friends for. He was the best man at my wedding when I married my ex-wife. We've been friends for probably 25 years, and we haven't seen each other face to face in a long time, long time. So, but we talk all the time, and he's a good dude. And so we're gonna go and we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna watch some baseball, and yeah. So that is what we're gonna do. So that should be a good time. That should be a real good time. So anyway, that's I not doing as much. I'm traveling, of course, like a crazy person, back and forth to New York all the time. But as far as like vacations, there is I'm doing that, and then I'm doing one other thing later in the year, and so small trips. So I'm a Mets fan, but I did see the Yankees play against Red Sox in Boston. That would be fun. I think that would be fun. Film a baseball trip. I could do that. I'll get some video of it. But yeah, I'm really excited about that one because I've never been to Baltimore Stadium there, and I heard it's fun. I love baseball. I've been a Yankee fan since I was a little boy, and the Yankees have been on a tear this year. They just lost today, but they had won 9 in a row before they lost today. So yeah, I mean, you can't win them all, but it was fun. So, but oh, you're a Pittsburgh Pirates fan? Well, then you should like the Yankees because the Yankees sure got a lot of Pittsburgh Pirates players on their team. Uh, so, oh, you played for the Orioles back in the day. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, changing the name from yeah, I thought that was ridiculous as well. Just like Washington changing their logo as well. It's just so stupid. But that's the society we live in today. That you will have people that are going to give in, and they're going to kiss the trivial feet of the people that are offended by everything. I would tell them, too bad, be offended. That's just the way it is. But anyway, guys, let's do this. We are Legion. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? So, where is everybody from tonight? We have Philip from Melbourne, Australia, is in the house. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Nowhere, Oklahoma. Bloomberg, Pennsylvania. We have Erin, Tennessee. BC, Canada. South Dakota, East Tennessee, St. Augustine, Florida, Tennessee, Connecticut, Waterloo, New York, Inverness, Florida, with Clyde is in the house. Leesburg, Florida, Central Missouri, Northeast, North Carolina, East Coast, Middle Georgia, Pennsylvania Wilds, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Campbell, Missouri, South Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, East Central Illinois, Bedford, Ohio, Northeast Ohio, North Highlands of California, Quebec, Canada is in the house. We have Missouri, Alabama, Roll Tide, absolutely. Baltimore, Maryland, uh, Lake East, Ohio, Central Kentucky. We have Florida, Frankfort, Illinois, Ulster Park, New York, Mountain City, Tennessee. We have Morning Lights in West Virginia, Southern Maryland, Union City, Pennsylvania, Vancouver Island, Canada. We have Texas in the house. Let's see, East Mississippi. We have Chicago, Vancouver Island in Canada. Very nice. Union City, Pennsylvania. We have Chicago's in the house. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. California, High Sierra. Very nice. California's beautiful, guys. I don't care what anybody says. It's beautiful. We got Rhode Island in the house. So again, we are all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge network. We're a huge family of people. We are the ones that truly can make a difference. I think we can make a difference now, and we can make a difference in a post event. Somebody says, "How's Hella doing?" She's awesome. She is awesome. Having fun playing with her brother and sister, meaning Caesar and Pandora. And then she will go back with me, and she will be spoiled once again because she will have all of my attention. So But Max is awesome. Heather was like, I wonder if Max is going to come back and sleep with you now that you're back home. And he did. And when I go back to West Virginia, he'll go back and get in bed with Heather again. So funny. They're freaking hilarious. Molly's awesome. She's so cute. Little tiny Molly. Oh, we have North Queensland, Australia. Debbie. Glad to have you here, Debbie. So, no, the animals are all good, guys. Everybody's doing well. The chickens are good. I got to tell you this one real quick. You'll get a kick out of this. And so Becky and Heather cleaned out the chicken coop while I was gone, which was awesome. Glad to have them do that. I really appreciated that. And then Heather says to me, "Yeah, we took everything out of there except for the log." And I went, "The log?" I go, "Heather, there's no log in the chicken coop." "Yeah, there is, Dad. Right underneath where the chickens roost, there's a big log there. And I think that they jump up on it and then they get on the roost." I go, "Heather, there is no log in the chicken coop." So I go out there. It's not a log. It's just a big round circular pile of crap. So I thought that that was funny. They thought that that was a log. So, but very funny. So anyway, that was. I thought that was hilarious. But remember, guys, we're the ones that are awake. We're the ones that can make a difference, trying to wake other people up now. And I think we should try to do that if we can. What do I use for the chicken coop bedding? Pine shavings. I use pine shavings morning light. So we'll go and pick up pine shavings and we'll spread them around, and that's what we do. So, but I call my crap logs too. That's too funny. I thought it was freaking hilarious. So once again, to all the fathers out there, I want to wish you all a very very happy Father's Day. Again, there's a lot more to being a father than being a sperm donor. So just putting that out there as well. Um, you know, but again, we are the ones that are awakened, not woke. We know who the woke folks are. We are not those folks. We are the people that are awoken. So we see the real deal, and here's what I want you guys to remember: we are all only crazy until something happens. When something happens, then we are the smartest one in the room. Remember that, because that's the truth. Okay, so let people say what they're going to say, and that's fine. But I would, definitely be happy that you see what's going on, that you're preparing for what's going on. It's definitely going to give you an advantage when the time comes. The more prepared you are, the better off you will be when that time comes. And I think that that is important as well. Okay. Um, so it just, like I said, anything that's going to give you an advantage, why would you not do it? I never could understand that either. Anyway, so, but yeah, I'm awake, not woke. Exactly. So, all right. Yeah. Most inventors were considered crazy too. Just be yourself. Exactly. Be who you are. Don't be ashamed of who you are. And, if it's making your life better, how is that ever a bad thing? That's what, that's the way I look at it. Um, you know, so anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. They are awesome, and I appreciate their efforts coming in here stream after stream and working hard and making sure we have good streams. So I really, truly, truly appreciate that. Also, I want to thank all of you for being here as well. I appreciate the support as well. It's been a lot of fun. It's been quite the journey. The journey will continue. I will just, continue to be back and forth. And now the rush is not there because I'm not selling New York property. So, again, better to have two bug out locations than none. So, but is a small RV cheaper than a shed on a plot of unrestricted land? Uh, it, it depends on what you're looking for, to be honest with you. Appalachian nature. It really depends on, with an RV, you can get all the appliances and everything in an RV that would have in there. But how old is the RV? What are you paying for it? If you're buying something new, you're going to have all the bells and whistles, which is great. And I think it's a good thing. But again, you just don't know as far as that goes. But, it's, that's something that you got to think about. So it's hard to say. I like being able to have options. So that's always a good thing as well. So yeah, and that's exactly is it a four season RV? That's going to make a difference as well. So, but anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here for now. Remember, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we will actually be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them manipulate us. We have to stop letting them dictate to us, what is the truth and what is not the truth. Do your own research. I absolutely think that that is the best way to go. So do your own research, and you're going to be in better shape. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. No, I don't know where Max is. He must be outside right now. Uh, but tell them every day how you feel. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Uh, Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Ed, does your RV have slide outs? Yes, the one I have down there has a slide out. Yep. So, but again, if you work methodically at anything, you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. You don't have to, don't listen to negative people telling you what you cannot do. You know, Ed, check the PO box in West Virginia. All right, Cheryl. When I get back down there, I will definitely do that. I will definitely do that. And thank you. So, but anyway, guys, stay diligent, keep prepping, doing what you need to do, and you're going to be just fine. All right. I will talk to you all later. I hope everybody has a great day. Be safe, keep prepping, take care of your business, and when the time comes, we'll do what we all got to do. All right. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.